Hey everyone, it's Tony from My Money and Retirement, and we just got an official update that I need to share with you right away. The Trump administration has announced plans for some major changes to Social Security and disability benefits. And honestly, parts of this are pretty shocking. If you or anyone in your family receives Social Security retirement, disability insurance, SSDI, supplemental security income, SSI, or survivor benefits, you need to pay attention to what's happening right now, because this affects millions of Americans. And here's the surprising part. While there are some deep and concerning cuts being proposed, there's also talk of a potential benefit increase. One that could put an extra $300 to $500 in your pocket instead of just the usual $54 to $58. Yes, you heard that right. I spent hours going through official reports from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities and the Senior Citizens League, so you don't have to dig through pages of policy jargon. I'm going to break everything down for you in plain English: what's being proposed, who it impacts, and most importantly, what you can do about it. This channel exists to help families like yours navigate government benefits and find resources when money is tight. So please, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update that could affect your finances. And if you find this information helpful, please hit that like button. It only takes a second, and it helps us reach more people who need this. Let's start with the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, because this one impacts over 70 million Americans who depend on Social Security every single month. Now here's what's happening. The COLA announcement was supposed to come out on October 15th, but the recent government shutdown delayed it until October 24th. Normally, a delay like that would just feel like more government red tape, but in this case, it might actually turn out to be a good thing for you. Here's why. Right now, the government calculates COLA using something called the CPI-W, which stands for the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. In simple terms, it tracks inflation for working people in cities, not for retirees or people with disabilities, and that's a big problem. According to the Senior Citizens League, the average senior who retired back in 1999 has already lost nearly $5,000 in Social Security income because this inflation measure doesn't reflect what seniors actually spend money on. Think about it. You're not buying the same things as a 35-year-old working in Manhattan. You're spending more on healthcare, housing, and prescription drugs, things that tend to go up faster than the general cost of living. If the government sticks with the CPI-W, analysts expect the 2025 COLA to be around 2.7% to 2.8%, which means only about $54 to $58 more per month for the average beneficiary. And then what happens? Your Medicare Part B premium goes up, eats most of that increase, and you're left with almost nothing. But here's where things get interesting and potentially hopeful. The Senior Citizens League and several lawmakers are now pushing for a switch to a different formula called the CPIE, or Consumer Price Index for the elderly. Unlike CPI-W, this one specifically tracks seniors' actual expenses, and historically, it runs about 0.1 percentage point higher than CPI-W, which might sound tiny, but it's not. When you scale that up across 70 million beneficiaries, experts say it could mean an extra $300 to $500 for seniors and people on disability benefits, instead of that $54 to $58 increase. And here's the best part. That government shutdown delay? It's given lawmakers more time to push for this change right now. So, let me ask you directly. Because here's the truth. If you don't speak up, nothing changes. Politicians need to hear your voice. Now here's the part that's deeply concerning. According to a report from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, the Trump administration is planning significant cuts to Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, especially for older workers. SSDI currently supports around 9 million Americans with disabilities, people who've worked, paid into the system, and later became unable to continue working due to serious medical conditions. We're talking about individuals with chronic pain, heart disease, cancer, mental health conditions, or severe injuries, people who didn't choose to stop working but simply can't. The proposed changes would make it harder to qualify for benefits and could also mean more frequent reviews to prove you're still disabled. That's more paperwork, more doctor visits, and more stress, at a time when many are already struggling just to stay healthy. Who's hit the hardest? Older workers in their 50s and early 60s who are too young to retire, but too sick to keep working. Many of these folks spent decades doing physically demanding jobs: construction, nursing, trucking, warehouse work, and now their bodies simply can't take it anymore. And yet, these are the people who could lose the most under these cuts. I'll be honest, that really troubles me. Around 5 million Social Security recipients are already living below the poverty line in 2025. These are our seniors, veterans, and neighbors, hardworking Americans who built this country. And that number is expected to rise in 2026 if nothing changes. So, let's talk about who these proposed changes could impact the most and what steps you can take right now. If you're currently on disability benefits, you may face more frequent reviews and stricter criteria. Start documenting everything with your doctors immediately. If you're an older worker, 50s, 60s, developing health problems, it may soon be harder to qualify for SSDI. If you've been putting off applying, you may want to file your application now, before new rules take effect. If you receive survivor benefits, especially as a widow or widower, there's discussion of adjusting payments for younger survivors. If you're a low-income senior on SSI, changes to asset limits and income calculations are also being discussed. And here's something important. States like California, Florida, and Texas have the largest numbers of Social Security beneficiaries. That means, if you live in those states, your voice carries a lot of political weight. Use it. I know this is heavy stuff. You might be feeling angry, scared, or overwhelmed. But remember, these are still proposals. Nothing has been finalized yet, and you have power. Here's what you can do right now. Call or email your senators and representatives. Tell them your story, what these benefits mean to you, how you rely on them, and why these changes would hurt. Real stories get their attention. If you've been delaying your SSDI or SSI application, do it now before rules tighten. The process is long, but you can't get approved if you never apply. Action 3. Check your benefits. Go to ssa.gov and create a My Social Security account. Review your statements and understand what you're entitled to. Knowledge is power. Action 4. Keep good records. If you're applying or currently receiving disability, document everything. Medical visits, doctor notes, daily challenges, so you're prepared if stricter reviews begin. Action 5. Explore other resources. Social Security might be your main income, but it shouldn't be your only support. Look into SNAP, LIHEAP, Medicaid, and state-level senior programs. I've got videos on all of those. Check the playlist in the description. Now let's put this in perspective. Social Security has been around since 1935. It's survived wars, recessions, political fights, and everything in between. It's not going anywhere. Why? Because 70 million Americans depend on it, and politicians know cutting Social Security is political suicide. There will be pushback, there will be negotiations, and the program will continue. But that doesn't mean we can sit back. We've got to stay informed, vocal, and united. We live in one of the richest nations on earth. We can afford billions for wars and corporate bailouts. We can certainly afford to take care of our seniors and disabled citizens. That's not an issue of money, it's an issue of priorities. Before we wrap up, let's come back to the COLA situation, because this is actually an opportunity. With the announcement delay, lawmakers are under pressure to adopt the CPIE formula. If enough of us speak up, we could see a real increase this year. Not $54, but possibly $300 to $500 a month. That's the difference between struggling and breathing a little easier. So please, right now, comment "I support CPIE" below. Then call your representatives and say the same thing.
Your voice matters, your story matters, and when we speak together, we can create real change.
Times are tough, but you've overcome tough times before. Recessions, job losses, health battles, everything life's thrown at you. You'll get through this too. And I'll be right here with you, every step of the way. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who needs this information. Hit like so more people see it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I post new videos every week with updates, benefits tips, and financial resources to help you make ends meet. You've got this. I believe in you. Now go make your voice heard. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay strong.